So here I'm going to share a couple of insights from the benchmark in 2014. I think one of the important questions that we get when it comes to performance, of incubators is, guys, tell us what is the output to the input ratio of the incubators. And here we try to outline for you in terms of what is the operational budget in different regions in the world compared to what output, or in one of the key indicators of output that everybody likes to hear are number of jobs created. And so here we want to show you, in terms of the budget that the incubators get, how many new jobs per incubator per year are they able to generate with that input. And in this regard, you can see that Asia and Oceania seems to have, Asia and Oceania here seem to have much less input to compare to the jobs that they're able to create. What it means is that it's still very labor centric. Obviously, when you move to Europe and to North America, the labor market, and the labor laws are very different, and hiring people and the cost of hiring people, it's a little bit different. So we understand that, and in that regard, you can see that the number is still lower. But in case of Asia, the output that we get compared to the operational budget per incubator is still high. And here in this regard, I think we would be very, very interested to see how that comes out for the MENA region. And I think 2015 is the year, with participation from all of you, that we're going to know more about the MENA region. I think it's a very, very important region, and many exciting things are happening there, but somehow we are missing some of that information. But I know that all of you are going to change that this year by participating in our survey. Again, when we look at the sales revenue figures for different regions, we notice straight away that in Europe and in North America, the companies are able to generate a lot of sales revenue. But surprisingly, the Asia and Oceania region, the companies are doing really, really well. When we look at their sales revenue, again, this is cumulative sales revenue. You notice that it's 103 million that they're able to generate over one per incubator over a year's time, and it's a very significant amount of sales revenue generated by those companies. In terms of funding available, Europe seems to be the easiest place to find that funding, or to get funding for client companies, which stands at 5.4 million, which is a very high number if you compare it to all the other economies. South America is doing efforts, and it's changing rapidly. So you can see that the funding is increasing in South America, and Asia as well, that it's increasing. On the funding side, we notice that the incubators in US and the client companies that they have less funding compared to the European incubators. Again, we'll be curious to know more about the MENA region and what happens in MENA in terms of sales revenue and the performance of companies that go out of incubators. When we look at survival rates, we have divided this into different categories. So we're looking at the survival, how the companies are surviving. We're looking at the growth and profitability of companies. We're looking at how many companies have been dead or terminated, how many companies have been acquired. One thing becomes clear when you look at Africa. We were really surprised that nearly 43% of the companies from incubators that go out actually are surviving and growing, which I think is a very, very promising number. And it also tells us that there is a lot of activity happening in Africa. Very interesting things are happening there in Africa. Otherwise, on average, you can see that it's 1 in 3 companies would actually go on to survive and grow. As you can see here in Asia, about 26%, 31% in Europe, 31% in North America, and about 22% in South America. So Africa was a good surprise, which means that there are many interesting things that are happening in Africa. Again, when you guys participate, it's going to be really, really great to know more about the MENA region. From what we know, that there are many, many interesting things happening there. And so far, nobody has tried to highlight all the interesting things that are happening. And what we want to do at UBI Global is to try to one, highlight the MENA region. So all the interesting projects, companies, startups that are going out of the MENA region, we want to highlight them. And we also want to understand what's going on so we can help the incubators in MENA region, the new ones, upcoming ones, to become more efficient, to become better in what they're doing by learning from other incubation programs around the world.